Greetings, fellow armchair imagineers. Tiki here, and welcome to another thrilling and backstabbing installment of the Soul Imagineer Tribal Council podcast. It is way too early in the morning for me to do the theme song, so I will just say "oe oe oe oe" and whatnot. With me today are two of the three other Final Four members besides myself. We have D Squared coming back for a second time from Redemption Island. D Squared, just straight off the gate, I thought you had a really excellent project this episode. We'll get into that, so welcome back, welcome back. And then we have ID Institute, who gave me what was quite possibly the most frustrating project I've ever been involved in. I mean, I really tried to make it work, but as I was writing up that attraction, I was just like, this is not going to work. This is just, no. This is a mess. How you doing, IDI?
I'm good. I'm very
All right, so IDI, the know-it-alls, officially got further in Season 2 than they did in Season 1. Did you even think that was possible?
I really did not.
Right? It's like we make up half of the Final Four at this point. I mean, I don't even know what our intentions are with each other, you know. We'll have to cross that bridge when we get there, but fun times. Okay, so let's just start things off. I think this will be probably a relatively quick show because there wasn't really a whole hell of a lot of drama except coming from yours truly because I was cranky and got up on the wrong side of the bed, but we'll get to that. So just to start things off, pretty standard, fair project. First of all, I just want to say that this episode is called You Hear That, Matt? So, yeah. Pretty standard project with doing the Adventureland overhaul. I have one issue with this, and I don't know if you guys ran into it as well, because basically at a certain point I just had to throw my arms up and say, fuck it. But there is hardly any land actually available to do any sort of expansion with in Adventureland.
You know, to be honest, I didn't even actually look at Google Maps at all.
I just asked Jokers, and Jokers was like, no, it's basically as boxed in as Disneyland is. And I'm like, well, that's great.
I feel like there's a little bit of space, like, to the very south left of, like, looking at a map.
But it's nothing that would fit in, like, an e-ticket or anything like that, let alone a whole land.
Yeah, probably.
So I think with this project, we had to take armchair imagineering to the next level and just, like, picture land that is not there. And I guess for Imagineering, like, in terms of, like, this is kind of like a writing trope on my end, but whenever you get lost on space, just resort to, oh, it's beyond the berm. It's beyond the berm, that magical outside place beyond the railroad track where all your dreams can come true.
In this case, it's the monorail station.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, so let's talk through the twist. The twist, which I think our Michael kind of just came up with on the spot because he forgot there even was a twist because M. Night Shyamalan, twist, he make twist. What a twist. So IDI, I really, from the bottom of my heart, as soon as I found out that they were basically going to recycle the twist where I got to do the Beverly Hills Chihuahua project, I really wanted to do another Beverly Hills Chihuahua. I was so down for that. I was jumping up and down. I was salivating at the mouth. I was like, oh my god, this is like the perfect opportunity. I even messaged you. I was like, do it. Just do it. I want Beverly Hills Chihuahua. And just what was your thought process for that darn cat? Like, why that darn cat of all things? It seems like the most random, like, out of nowhere.
That was the goal. I wanted it to be random and out of nowhere.
What the hell can I possibly do?
That's the challenge.
I mean, at least with Beverly Hills Chihuahua, there's kind of like a fantastical element to it. There's the talking animals, so you can do something with that. You can do something with it. I obviously proved that. But ironically enough, I couldn't even do Beverly Hills Chihuahua if I wanted to because it was just all animated. So thought process behind Ratatouille, because unlike these other kind of assignments where, I've gotten Beverly Hills Chihuahua, I've gotten That Darn Cat, Ratatouille, on the other hand, is actually a really damn good movie, which I thought made this project all the tougher. Did you have that thought process that if it was a good movie, I'd kind of struggle with it?
Honestly, my thought process was just, this is France, and that's Adventureland. This is gonna be funny.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, honestly, like, I came up with the backstory of, like, oh, they're on a cruise to New York City for an international cuisine tournament or whatever, and they get shipwrecked off the shores. I came up with that relatively early. To me, the bigger problem with this project was just the fact that in order to make it fit the Adventureland theme at all, I kind of had to sacrifice everything that was good about the original movie. And that's the fact that out of, like, all the Pixar movies, I feel like Ratatouille is the closest one to be, like, a charming little indie film. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
It's very intimate. There's not a huge setting to it. It's France, but really most of it kind of takes place in the kitchen. They obviously did do a ride and a land at Disneyland Paris. I think it's a little bit redundant to have a whole, like, oh, it's the Paris land in Disneyland Paris. And again, I can't complain because, California Adventure 1.0. But, I don't know. It was just tough for me. And I kind of, I got the idea very early on to do Zootopia. I basically was like, you know what? It's got to be, like, I have to kind of just cross things over and just kind of go balls to the walls. I wanted to do something crazy, so I got the idea of doing this whole, like, shared universe thing, and it made me so sad. It made me like a Norma Bates level of sad when Armichael said that the shared universe made him cringe. I was like, oh. All right. I guess with that in mind, I'm going to go ahead and pull up a screen share. D Squared, any comments on your end about just kind of overall brainstorming on this project?
I felt this one is probably the most hard because of all the upfront IPs you think of have been used already there, or they've been used on the forum. So you really
Sure.
had to try your out of the box on this one a little bit.
I'm not even sure what I would have done if I wasn't restricted. I don't know. Part of me says I would have probably done an expansion to Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah.
Like maybe made like a Tortuga mini land, out of the Caribbean Plaza, something like that. Uh,
The challenge did say, I don't know, Rick, if you were
oh,
allowed
you're
to
right.
do
The challenge
Oh,
did
yeah.
say no
Yeah.
Pirates of the Caribbean. Son of a bitch. Oh, jeez. Oh, jeez.
Rick, mine was
Well, I don't-
kind of pirate-like, but, not really Pirates of the Caribbean.
It's not Pirates of the Caribbean. I'll give yours a pass.
Mine had Pirates in the Caribbean, but it was not Pirates of the Caribbean.
Very, very good distinction there. All right, just give me a moment. I'm just trying to pull up project. So yeah, I mean, Ratatouille is just always one of those movies for me where, like I said, the charm of it just comes from it being kind of the closest thing we have to like a little kind of like gem of a film that doesn't really, you don't really need any sort of big like climax or big villains. It has Skinner, it has Ego, but the thing I love about Skinner and Ego is that they're both not necessarily villains. I mean, Skinner is kind of, but Ego is definitely one of my favorite characters in the Pixar repertoire. But anyways, let's just go ahead and pull up the projects at this point. Shoot, let me close all my other tabs. Sorry, guys. Any words on the Project Vito creating the new ride for Liberty Square?
I didn't do it.
I might have done it. I don't even remember.
I
remember
wanted to have time to do it, but it was just not happening.
I remember going to start it, and then I had no idea what I was going to do. And I don't remember if I finished it.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Check.
Okay. So without further ado, let's kind of quickly go over these projects. If screen share will work for me. All right, you guys see that?
No.
No?
No.
I do, yeah.
Oh,
There? Is it there?
Yeah.
I still
Okay.
don't see it.
Let me lock onto my screen. That's actually a good idea. How
I'm on
about
my
now?
phone, though, so it's kind of small and blurry.
Oh, you don't. That's okay. That's okay.
Yeah.
I'm just showcasing it for the folks. So let's talk about something that really kind of perplexed me, and I think perplexed pretty much everyone who read it. Flippin' Flounder's project. Just you want to talk about something that does not fit into Adventureland. I don't know. I mean, to me, like, Flippin', I love you, especially because you saved me this round, even though you've been anti-me the whole game, so I really have no ill will towards you. I wish you the best and all that. I was just like, this is not even, like, trying to fit into the realm of Adventureland. It's I don't even really know how it'd be a spin-off to Liberty Square. I mean, I guess it fits more with Liberty Square.
Yeah. It's
Um,
hard because it's a good attraction, but it's just in the wrong spot, so you don't really know what to say about it. It's like that's a thing I want to see. It's just in the wrong spot, like.
right. And I think just the wrong project in general, because, I mean, you can't often just be like, oh, I'm just gonna, I mean, there's practically no concern towards the Adventureland, that's my only kind of issue with it.
Yeah.
Kind of reading through the scenes right now, I mean, it kind of seems like it repeats an air that I think a lot of recent Dark Rides make. I just watched a Fresh Baked Disney episode they did on Monsters, Inc., Mike and Sully to the Rescue at TCA, and I'm just like, I watch a ride through something like that, and I'm just like, this is literally just like, hey, here's the movie. Good job. Just here's the movie. And I'm like, no, it's like, if you think about the best Fantasyland Dark Rides, you have Peter Pan's Flight, you have Mr. Toad. I think those are kind of the two iconic examples. And neither of those follow the movie. So I think that's just kind of like one of my pet peeves in general when designing dark rides. I always like to kind of design something that, obviously, I didn't design a Ratatouille dark ride that just followed the movie. Okay. And here we get to P Squared. I actually really like this submission, P Squared. I thought this was probably one of your best projects yet.
The island that has like a 3-inch river running past it. It's not really.
Oh god.
I don't even know how I came up with that idea.
I just really love the idea of kind of like tying old school, like classic literature into the park. I'm sure Jokers would give a big old thumbs up if you were here.
Yeah.
To me, I just think classic literature kind of goes back to the roots of Disney in a lot of respects, at least the roots of Disney parks, because we had like stuff like, I mean, stuff like Davy Crockett. I mean, that's not necessarily classic literature, but you know what I'm getting at. Shut up. Tom Sawyer Island. That's what I was thinking of.
This was basically my version of Pirates of the Caribbean, while also getting around the rules of the challenge.
My question to you is probably the same concern that our Michael had, I imagine, where do you think having two pirates-based attractions in the same land would be redundant? Was that a concern?
Pretty much.
Okay. But I don't know. It's like with Treasure Island. I think Treasure Island. It's not necessarily. I mean, it is pirates, but there's a lot more going on in that book than just pirates. You know what I mean? I think kind of like one of the charms of Treasure Island is that it's pirates, it's the military, it's kind of people in the middle. And Robinson Crusoe, I think, is obviously just something that Disney has not touched on yet, and something that is a very, very iconic classic book and not related to pirates really in any way.
Yeah.
So I thought this was good. I thought it was really good.
Thanks.
Anything else you want to say about it?
Not really.
Okay, fair enough. All right, I'm curious to get your guys' take on my Ratatopia. So, have you read it? What do you guys think of it overall?
I skimmed through all of the projects, but I just kind of liked reading yours just to see where you went with the idea, you know?
Mm-hmm. I think I have some good stuff here. Shoot, hold on. I'm just kind of scrolling through this aimlessly. I'm not really paying attention to the flow of it. Overall, what do you guys think of the whole idea of doing the shared universe thing, kind of connecting it all together?
I'm always a fan of that.
Are you?
I like seeing what crazy things could happen if they do that with characters.
I mean, we're living in that age with cinema, you know what I mean? It's like Disney already has the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and they have Star Wars, which is just a whole big universe in its own right. There's rumors that Star Wars and Marvel might cross over somehow, which would just be crazy. So,
Yeah.
I honestly do think that at a certain point we're going to start seeing Disney films reference each other more and more. Because I think Disney realized how popular the whole Frozen theory was. You know, the whole thing with Anna and Elsa being connected to Tarzan and all that, and then also being connected to Tangled. I think Zootopia, while there's not necessarily like any kind of direct, like, oh, same universe, I definitely think Zootopia kind of took a lot of cues from classic Disney. Obviously, there's some inspiration from Robin Hood to be had there. So I'm just saying, like, I think we're getting to a certain point, and I think Pixar is also very much embracing the whole Pixar theory, like Easter egg share universe thing as well. Did you guys see the Pixar April Fool's joke by any chance?
No.
Was it the thing with the octopus?
Yes, the thing with the octopus.
They were saying that the Finding Dory octopus is in every movie.
And it's like they show a clip of it from Finding Dory, then they show a clip of Toy Story. It's like, oh, look, it's right there. And they're like pointing to nothing.
Yeah.
There's another one, picture of Bug's Life, nothing. Yeah, he's just been in camouflage the whole time. So I really do feel like that was Pixar's kind of like direct way of kind of giving a wink and a nod to the fans. Of like, yeah, we know what's up. We like doing this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, I actually do like the land more than I like the e-ticket itself. I actually do think, as batshit crazy as it is, the idea of theming a Ratatouille land off of like them shipwrecking off the coast of Africa, and then kind of creating this new like little Paris for themselves in Africa, kind of like the blend of cultures, if you will. You know what? I actually think if I would have gone for something like that and kind of stayed away from the shared universe stuff, I think this project kind of would have been better, in my opinion, kind of looking back on it. Because I really do think I had some good ideas there. I really like, I honestly think probably my favorite thing I came up with was probably the Skinner's Mousetrap coaster. Because I just think that would it's just such a natural fit to have a rat trap themed wild mouse with Skinner. I mean, it just kind of feels like chocolate and peanut butter, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then all throughout the ride, could you just be like, the rat, it's getting away, the rat. So as far as like actually working Ratatouille into like the African location of Adventureland, I think I did a good job. I think where I really failed and where my project kind of fell flat really was the shared universe thing. And I realized that as I was writing this thing up, I was like, I kind of had that. Have you guys ever written a project and like at first you guys are like really all excited about it? You're thinking like, oh man, this is a good idea. You're stoked about it. And then when you start writing it up, you realize like you kind of get that sinking feeling in the pit of your stomach, like, oh
Yeah.
no,
Yeah.
oh
I know
no,
exactly
this
what you're
is
talking about.
not going to work. I'll specifically point out the exact moment where I realized this whole concept wasn't going to work. It's right after I Want to Be Like You. It's okay, here we go. You ready? This single paragraph was like the most painful thing for me to type out. The elephant brigade from Jungle Book meets out on the outskirts of Lion King's Elephant Graveyard with Pride Rock in the distance. A group of rats watches on as Simba consults the council over the different realms of the Disney Animal Kingdom coming together. What?
That's awesome.
No, it's not. No, it's not. It's messy as fuck. It's just, I'm just like, this character, and this character, and this character, and this location. No rhyme or reason for it. And then, hey, by the way, there's medieval animals in the Robin Hood area. Yay! You know, Baloo and Dance of the Hour. Hippo is there for some reason. It's a mess. It's a train wreck.
That's the one problem with doing a Disney crossover. They have so many characters that it gets out of hand if you try to type one out in full. Like
I know. It's obviously this got out of hand, and I even resorted myself. I limited myself. This isn't all the Disney characters. This is like a handful of Disney movies featuring prominently animals. You know what I mean? It's a handful. It's like it's Robin Hood, Lion King, and it's mostly Robin Hood, Lion King, and Robin Hood, Lion King, Jungle Book, a little bit of Jungle Book, a little bit of Zootopia in there. So it's mostly those four. I mean, I have like the Rescuers Down Under, Eagle, but it's mostly like those four movies, and even those four just does not work at all. I'll admit the one thing I actually kind of like, the one idea I like in here is the idea of using the per scale animatronics for the rats. I think that would be really cool to see, like a really advanced technology for animatronics.
yeah.
And I do like the idea of having the finale with Skinner kind of like towering over Little Paris, and then the eagle swooping down, and then Skinner being like, "No, the rat." So that's it. I think the intro for Merry-Go-Round, I just really think that title is clever. I don't think it actually fits in the land at all. It's just kind of like, why? Like, why would there be this giant merry-go-round in the middle of this, like, shipwrecked encampment? Makes no sense. I don't know. You guys like the idea of the Little Paris play area? And I like the Toothpick Eiffel Tower. I thought that was probably, like, the one idea I had that was like, okay, I can see that working in a Disney park.
Yeah, I could see that being like a secondary park icon, like the Tower of Terror, kind of.
Sure.
In a way.
Alright, so that's it. Now we get to Matt! God damn it, Matt! I actually thought this was a relatively good idea for Matt. I think Matt actually had the most practical idea out of all of us. Would you guys agree?
Yeah.
I actually thought, to tell you the truth, I would actually give him credit and say this might be a better project than my project, just in terms of how realistic it is. I like the idea of the Legend of Tarzan being a big flop because, yeah, it's definitely going to be a flop. I don't think there's any way around that. That movie looks fucking awful. And I really like the idea of Disney being like, well, hey, we have Tarzan. And I actually think there's been kind of like a movement lately where people are really, really appreciating and loving Tarzan. I've kind of noticed that recently. Like, Tarzan is almost 20 years old. It'll be 20 years old in 2019. So, perfect opportunity here. Wait, is there actually a live-action remake? Or is that just something Matt made up? Do you guys know?
I remember hearing something about it. I heard it was a thing. I never heard anything besides that, though. I don't know if Disney was doing it.
Well, there is the Legend of Tarzan, which might be the thing you're hearing of, which is like, it just looks fucking awful.
Oh, no, I'm thinking of Jungle Book.
Oh, you're thinking of Jungle Book, yeah. Can't wait for Jungle Book, really excited about that, but
Yeah.
that's a whole different podcast.
Yeah.
Hopefully that's not as disappointing as Batman vs. Superman. Alright, so, no, but I do agree with Matt here. It's like synergy. It is, like, this project has a lot of synergy in it. I think it makes a lot of sense from a corporate perspective.
Yeah.
It's funny that he and I both had the same idea to do Tarzan's Treehouse. I don't know. I don't really have a ton to say about this project for Matt, but I do think that it was a valiant effort on his part. Although, he's a son of a bitch who could go rot in hell. Because I have to keep this running joke going. You hear that, Matt? All right. IDI, I'll be honest with you, as soon as I saw how you structured this project, I was like, oh, I'm doomed. Like, I am so screwed. Like, IDI has got this. So, I'll be honest with you, I didn't really have time to read through your project. So please, by all means, guide me through it. Guide me through your thought process with it.
Well, I did very little content on it until yesterday afternoon at like 5. Like the whole week I had the idea brewing, and like when Wed999, I think his name is, from when he posted in the discussion thread, like I thought, like it reminded me of his Hyperion Avenue project that he made a while back, and that had a really awesome presentation similar to this. And like, I want to do something like that, like a type of presentation that really makes you like interested to read it.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, that's kind of just where it came from.
Cool. I definitely think presentation has kind of been your overall big strength throughout this whole season. I think, like, if you're going to win, it's definitely going to be based on that. I think you've had a really, really strong sense of how to present your projects. I think you've been a major force in the game so far, and I give you a lot of credit because this was definitely a really good project. Can you just guide me through some of these ideas that you have? Because I didn't read it, and I want to kind of not be too ignorant about the whole thing. So can you just guide me through kind of like some of the main concepts here?
Yeah, so I had an e-ticket, like, coaster EMV hybrid type thing that would be inside a giant volcano facade. And the general story was that, like, you were on a pirate type expedition inside the volcano looking for treasure that was like legend is in there. And then one member of the expedition crew kind of just leaves and disrupts the volcano, intending to trap you guys in there and burn to death. And you get out and you find treasure, and the guy that screwed you gets his comeuppance.
I like how original it is. I mean, of course, there is a concern with Pirates of the Caribbean, but I think you did a good job of avoiding that. I think right now with the movie, anything that's not really themed around a movie, you can kind of get away with in terms of it not being connected to the Pirates of the Caribbean brand. Because I feel like Jack Sparrow and all that crap has kind of taken such a prominence over just kind of the name Pirates of the Caribbean that anything with Disney that's not Jack Sparrow, I feel, with Pirates is kind of fine. It's like Jack Sparrow and Barbossa and that whole lot. Not that I don't appreciate not that I don't appreciate the first two movies. Oh, God. At World's End. Oh. Honestly, Batman vs. Superman was probably the most disappointing in theater experience I've had since At World's End, ironically enough. I just remember sitting in the theater of At World's End when we get to the, the part with all the crabs carrying the ship, and I'm just like, what? What? And then obviously, like, all the Johnny Depps, I'm just like, what the fuck? I mean, the second movie had some surreal qualities to it, but what is this? This is like a crystal meth nightmare. Oh my God. So overall, very, very strong project. I definitely, I knew you were going to win from the second you posted it. Just very, very quick, you kind of talked about how you didn't really have anything written up until 2 hours beforehand. Do you work good under pressure?
Yeah, I think I do. I mean, I always think, I'm going to screw myself if I don't carefully plan out everything, and that's what I was trying to do this week, and I got busy, and I'm just like, okay, I can do this tomorrow. All right, the next day, I can maybe squeeze this in and get it all done. And so I never did, but I
actually kind of had. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, that was it.
Okay. I actually kind of had like almost an opposite experience of you, where I got really cocky with my idea, and like very early on in the week, I think like Monday or Tuesday, I actually wrote out the first couple paragraphs, like I wrote out the intro and I wrote out the backstory. Like all that text was already written up and ready to go like Tuesday, I think. And I got super cocky and I was like, I've got this. Like, and I was like, okay, this is a really good setup. I really like how I actually place the characters of Ratatouille in the African environment. Like I said, that's one part of the project that I wish I would have emphasized more. I really did like the backstory. I liked my logic for it being a shared universe. I thought I had a really strong foundation. And after I wrote that initial thing up, I didn't even fucking think about the project until like 3 hours before it was due. So literally, I had like a really solid kind of starting line kind of lined up, but it was like nothing else. Like, I knew I wanted to do the dark ride. I kind of had the dark ride laid out. Like, I had the dark ride laid out as an outline on paper, but like I said, it's one of the things, like, when I was typing out the detail of the dark ride, I quickly realized, like, oh, man. Oh, I have nothing for this. So, all right. So with that in mind, IDI wins immunity, which was not a surprise at all. And do you guys want to make fun of my emo rant? I just feel like it's appropriate because I'm really, really embarrassed about it, especially considering how the vote ran out. So I would like to just kind of poke some fun at myself right now, if I can actually, like, scroll down. Were you, IDI, were you surprised at all that you won? Were you even worried?
I thought that I could be in like a little bit of danger because of like just Armichael might, pick on my project because of a lack of detail in the attractions. So that's where I was kind of worried.
Okay.
But I did think I had a pretty good project out.
So I actually lose my second place streak here. Which I think is actually well deserved. Like I said, my regret with this project is going too far and too ambitious with the shared universe thing. Like I said, if it were up to me, I'd probably place myself like number 4. I'd probably place Matt above myself if it were up to me. So IDI wants immunity, and I am pissed at this point. Wait, where is my post? Did someone delete my post? It's weird. Oh no, it's in between the results. I'm sorry. Okay, so you guys ready for emo Tiki? Terrible project on my part. I know I'm going to be voted out. So you guys might as well just get it over with. I'm sorry I wasted everybody's time. Just pathetic. Just like, shut up, you whiny asshole. No, I know I'm going home. Everyone wants me. Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, come on, man. This is sad. Everyone wants me gone. Might as well just hold the tribal council right in public for how screwed I am. I'm embarrassed for this. You know what? I'm just going to go ahead and just take this down. Just live, on air. Because this is not a good post. This is me just venting, and I should not be doing this in public. I genuinely apologize. Okay, you know what I'm going to replace this post with? Take a wild guess.
Whoops.
No. I found a lemon tree! There we go. I found a lemon tree. Alright. So now let's kind of get to the vote. I'll go ahead and turn off my screen share. I genuinely did think I was screwed just because we had the voting block of Matt and Flippin, and I thought there was no way they would not vote for me. I had no idea where your head was at after assigning me the Ratatouille project. I really legitimately was like, I thought you were kind of going after me for that. I don't know. I guess I was too paranoid. I feel kind of ashamed of that now, and I hope you'll forgive me because it's just the nature of the game, I guess. But I was just like, oh, he gave me Ratatouille. That must mean he doesn't want me to win. So kind of just let's eulogize Matt, I guess. So what was the argument in your guys' head for wanting Matt gone over myself, even though I'm probably a way bigger threat than Matt?
I like good TV. Do you like good
Well,
TV?
good TV? Who doesn't want good fucking TV? Go ahead, though. Go ahead.
No, that's it. That's 100% it.
Just good TV.
Because why not?
Yeah. He was flying under the radar. It's like every time it would be, oh no, like get him out instead. We'll try to get him out next time. And it kept on going on and on. And eventually he would have made it to the finale and he could have won.
That was my exact argument for getting Matt out. It wasn't that I don't respect Matt as a player. It's simply because I do think he set himself up very, very well to kind of be like, I think the three of us on this podcast are the three biggest threats in the game. I think that is very, very clear. I think probably from a very early point on in the game, maybe besides Space, I would say the three of us, IDI with your presentation, me with my overall kind of strategy and my overall just determination with the projects, and D squared, I think you just have a hell of a story, and I think that's why you'll get votes. So, I mean, and I mean that in the most flattering way I can.
Yeah.
So I really do think that the three of us are the biggest threats left in the game. So it's really cool that we can kind of go to the end with each other in a way. We'll have to see where Flippin kind of lies in the whole situation. He's kind of a big wild card right now, but we'll see where the cards lie. Honestly, though, guys, like I said, I very much apologize for throwing my little temper tantrum. I felt really embarrassed about it afterwards. It's literally like waking up on the wrong side of the bed. If I were to get eliminated at Final Four, I would feel very satisfied because A, I did get screwed over by a stupid Ratatouille project. And B, because I made it further than I did in Season 1. And honestly, as long as I can kind of call my game an improvement over Season 1, I'm happy. I'm happy, like, wherever the cards lie at this point. So I'm kind of just content right now. But my big argument for Matt, was definitely the fact that, people were going to target me, and then people were going to target IDI probably. And at the end of the day, it's like, who are you left with? It's like Matt was never going to be on anyone's radar unless we made kind of this conscious decision to take this factor out of the game. And that factor, I think, was virtually a guaranteed Final 2 spot. I think if Matt makes it into the Final 4, I think at that point he can virtually be locked down for Final 2.
Yeah.
So it was very smart on all our parts to kind of take him out in that regard, just because I feel like, especially for the three people sitting here, it gives us all kind of like an equal opportunity to get closer to the end, because that's one less spot that's guaranteed to be filled up. So are you guys kind of on the same page as me in regards to that?
Yeah.
Just thanks guys. Thanks for the input.
Where's IDI?
Oh yeah, what happened to IDI? I didn't even notice that.
Whatever.
Oh well. Oh well. I was just kind of going on my little soliloquy about Matt, and I didn't even notice that IDI dropped. Oh well. So D squared, I'm very happy to be in the Final Four with you. Like I said, I think I think it's so cool. I think just from a storytelling perspective, the fact that I voted you out the first round, there was this whole storyline with you being like down with Tiki and like the whole anti-Tiki alliance and whatnot, and now we're in the Final Four together. I think just from a storytelling perspective, this season has been a rousing success. I think pretty much every single boot down the line has had some sort of story to them. Even Matt. So Yeah, I'm very, very satisfied with how the season wound up. I'm sure, like, I'm almost jealous of our Michael from a hosting perspective because I'm sure he's had a lot of fun with it. If you were to have one dream project going into the finale, like, what would it be? What would be your one dream project?
Oh, what haven't we done yet? We've been everywhere, and I assume we're going somewhere new next time. So we've been everywhere in Disney World. We didn't go to Islands of Adventure yet, I don't think.
Yeah, I was just saying. I think we're about due for a Universal project. I think I'd like to see that. I think we're in the pipelines for that.
Yeah.
And I think I work good with Universal Studios, especially if it's Hollywood, because Universal Studios Hollywood just has such a weird, messed up design to it, and I think I like know it so well. So
it's easier with Universal because they have like a wide spectrum of movies, where the Disney stuff you're compelled to do Star Wars, Marvel, or an animated film.
I am never compelled to do Star Wars or Marvel.
Yeah.
I am never compelled to do it. It's just I'll do it if I have to.
Yeah.
Granted, I've seen, like, even just I've been at the at the gates to Big Thunder Ranch, and I've seen like the mounds of dirt behind the gates that are eventually going to lead to Star Wars Land. And I'll tell you, even seeing those fucking mounds of dirt got me really excited for Star Wars Land. I was like, oh, one day that whole area is going to be a big, massive, like, giant land. So exciting. So, but yeah, I think that's about it. That's about it. Like I said, I just think overall this Final Four is really, really strong. I think, you've got me as kind of like I think once again, I've kind of proven to be a villain this season. So you got me as the villain. D squared first. I think you've kind of come ahead from being the villain of the very first episode, like being the big kind of like over the top, like tops Tiki kind of villain for the first episode, to being maybe the fan favorite like hero of the season. How the hell did you do that?
I have no idea. I let everyone else take credit for stuff that I didn't do.
I mean, it just went from like you just causing this mass hysteria on the forums to just like now everyone wants you to win.
Yeah.
So it's funny. It's funny. I mean, I legitimately want you to win. So. All right. So I guess that's about it. I'm going to go ahead and play my lemon tree thing. Any last words, D squared?
Nope.
Nope. Thanks. All right. So without further ado, D squared, do you mind muting your mic? D squared. I will do it for you. Yeah. All right. Sorry. I don't know what's going on with D squared, but until next time, everybody. Turn up the volume so this will actually work. All right.